now, everybody. It's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting. Please welcome to the show the all-American, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Kurt Angle's my dad. Woo! Kurt Angle's my dad.
Hey, now. Welcome to the show. Sorry it's a little bit late today. I think all week we may have hectic schedules, but we're going to try to bring you, I think, still two more, if I'm not mistaken, this week.
Well, we have, what are we doing with our lives? We have today's Raw, tomorrow's SmackDown, and then are we doing a topic?
If we can get it, dude, first of all, let me start by saying I loved last week's topic.
Loved with a capital loved.
I loved the video. I loved the interaction after the video. If we can get topics like that, man. So you know what? Why should we throw it out first right off the bat and say if anyone has a killer topic like that, maybe something a little off the cuff like that, something a little different.
Right. We keep coming up with the same ideas, and lists are fun sometimes. But it was just nice the other day when Benny was like, what about, interactions with wrestlers? And that's something everybody can relate to. Everybody has a cool story at some point in their lives. You don't have to work in radio to have talked to professional wrestlers.
No.
So I thought that was a great topic. You guys brainstorm something, throw it up. I mean it when I say this. And in radio, they say it a lot in brainstorming sessions and then immediately turn around and make fun of you for a bad idea. But there's no bad idea. I'd rather you get out the bad ones, and then we'll sift through it and we'll figure one out. Yeah.
So if there's something you guys want to hear us rap about, freestyle about, well, we'd love to talk about it. So we'd love to hear what you have to say and what you want to hear us talk about. So in the comments, please leave us what you want to hear us talk about in a future episode of Post to Post. By future, we're probably talking about Thursday.
My favorite moment from the last podcast was when you told your Michael Hayes story, your dude story. I forgot that. He was like, well, I'll go kick you out of here. And you're like, well, we were just leaving. Thank you.
So I realized I forgot a big one. My very first interaction with the wrestler. One of my friends won a radio station contest in 1999. And part of the contest was you got to have lunch with a wrestler. And it was mostly for grown-ups. We were still in high school. So my friend Jerry won the contest, and he skipped school to go down to a Wegmans in New Jersey and have lunch with a WWE superstar. He was allowed to bring a guest. He brought me. I asked my mom for permission to do this, and I said, "Mom, here's what's happening. Can I skip school on this day for this event?" Strangely, my mom said, "Yes, let me do it." And the wrestler wound up.
That's not strange. Your mom is awesome.
Yeah.
That's not strange.
It's not like I did that very often, but it was.
You weren't going to the city to get stoned. You were going to meet a wrestler. Who was it?
It wound up being Val Venus.
Oh, the big Valboski.
Yeah, the lunch changed my friend Jerry's life. I thought it was awesome, but Jerry left there ready to become a pro wrestler. And it was something he wound up doing. Obviously, he's not a WWE star, but he still does his wrestling in the Philadelphia, New Jersey tri-state area.
Well, back in the day when OVW was the developmental for WWE, he was there, correct?
Yeah. He trained with OVW when OVW was the place that fed to WWE.
And I want to shout out my friend and one of my colleagues, Jason Lord. I don't believe you ever met Jason. He corrected me and reminded me the last Raw at the Bryce Jordan Center in State College was in May of 2007. And he laughed. He's like, I remember because I had jury duty that day. And you should remember because you had Jeff Hardy in your studio.
I knew when you said that, I just knew it couldn't have been the last time that Raw was at Penn State. It just couldn't.
Dude, you know me. I'm so bad with dates and I get everything mixed up. No one ever heard it, but I gave the hottest take ever once off the air. And I was like, the last show to come to the Jordan Center on television was a Thunder. And you're like, that's not true.
You were off by a decade. So I just knew it.
The last time it was Mid-South Wrestling.
Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee were in the main event and they went to Broadway. And hey, big news for Evansville wrestling fans. Just yesterday, we're allowed to mention that we've got our own WWE house show on the way January 5th.
And State College listeners, we have just announced a WWE house show coming January 20th.
Look at that. We always get them around the same time. Isn't that weird?
We're on the same loop. Now we're getting Raw. Who are you getting?
I don't know the answer to that. I assume it's Raw. I said on the air, I think it's Raw, but I don't know why I said that. I said a bunch of wrong things about wrestling on the air this morning, I guess.
You're just dropping it like it's hot. But we're getting Raw on January 20th. So maybe we'll end up having I know sometimes you do post-to-post giveaways. I might be able to help the State College contingent on that end as well.
Oh, cool. That'd be awesome. Man, imagine if we're giving away tickets all throughout January. Or I guess we'd have to give ours away in December or whatever, but we'll figure that stuff out. I haven't even been once I get the thumbs up for post to post, I will give the thumbs up to you guys and we'll figure it out. But in the meantime, Raw last night from the United Kingdom. Notoriously, my least favorite shows of the year. There's usually about 2 Raws every year that come from the UK. The reason I don't like them so much is because due to the time difference, the shows are taped, and oftentimes not a lot happens on the overseas shows. Although I do feel like last night a little bit broke the mold for a few reasons. The first thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first Raw from Manchester that didn't have those godforsaken taxi cabs and telephone booths on the set.
If it's not the first, then it's the second, because I remember last year we were still complaining about those stupid things. Yeah, so I think that they finally woke up and said, WTF are we doing? Because those were just, it just Why don't they just have the Queen of England sitting on the stage drinking a cup of tea?
Or the Duchess of Queensbury. Which maybe you don't I don't know if you get that joke or not, but wrestling fans from 2000 certainly will.
I don't, but it's so funny because you said it. Listen, I looked when I realized it was from England. I was like, okay, I'm gonna find that videotaping thing that Rob sees, but I didn't see it again.
Definitely wasn't there. It wasn't there. It's been there in the past. I was looking for it too. It wasn't there this time. Maybe they've updated equipment. I don't know, but there used to be a speed thing that drove me crazy.
It wasn't a terrible England show, man.
No.
And the energy is usually pretty off. And I think sometimes that comes from the performers because they know it's being taped. But I thought the energy was fine. The crowd's a little dead there, but that's on them. That's, I
don't think the crowd is dead. I think the crowd is different. And I kind of like the crowd for once in a while that they do that. And they kind of just cheer different stuff and cheer differently. And I don't think that they're a dead crowd. I think they're just a different crowd. They're actually very excited to be there, I feel like, because they get so few Raws there that they're excited that the show is there.
Sure.
I did doze, but I feel like I didn't miss anything. But clearly I did. If you listen to my show this morning, I made a huge flub. Because they gave Pete Dunne a win over Enzo, but it wasn't for the cruiserweight. But I admit I was dozing during that match, but I remember clearly seeing Pete Dunne grabbing the cruiserweight title. I know that doesn't mean that he won it, but I even in my notes, because I've got notes on my phone, and I wrote Pete Dunne debut, new cruiserweight champion. Like I was watching last night, and I thought that. Well, let me look. I don't think. No, you're right. He didn't. I've researched it because it became a thing on my show that, of course, I screwed up. So, yeah, but that was so. He's got his belt, his European belt. Oh, dear God, maybe that's what I was seeing. Yeah, was he holding a purple belt or just like a black and gold belt? I don't remember, but stop with that belt. We don't see that belt ever. Why are we parading around with that belt? Come on now, that's just should be a trophy. What do you mean he's holding the SmackDown Women's Championship? I don't understand. That's a broken tag team belt that was thrown over a bridge. Oh, no. The Rock through the Austin's Intercontinental. Come on. She's driving me crazy. Did you get that from Hardcore Holly down by the river? Now you're holding the Hardcore Championship? What the hell? That was the NWA United States Television Tag Team Championship.
Jerry Lawler and Dundee.
Happy birthday, Jake the Snake.
We are just rocking and rolling. I'm going to let you lead with all of your notes, but I have one. I made 2 notes. The first being, hey, Vince Russo, did you get to book the Elias Sampson match? Way to go with the guitar on a pole.
On a pole.
On a pole. And the other note I made, I feel like, I don't know if it's my favorite wrestling prop, but the neck brace is definitely the most underrated neck wrestling prop in all the world. I love when wrestlers come out like a sneaky heel in a neck brace.
Help me out. Who did that?
Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel came out. He's sitting there in his neck brace getting thrown around by Braun Strowman. I just love it. I loved it when Lawler did it. I loved it when Vince McMahon did it in a real courtroom. I love all of it.
All right, I'll start with some of my notes. First of all, the show was backloaded, which is what it is. I kind of like when they're paced evenly, but I thought if you had to watch just the last hour, you'd have caught the big stuff from the show last night. It opened with something I was excited for because they had hyped it up. Miz TV was going to kick off the show with special guest Kurt Angle, who is actually scheduled to wrestle at Survivor Series. So I was very excited to see what they would do. And lo and behold, it wound up being nothing. And, well, I guess I'll save this part because the Raw and SmackDown have had this theme here lately, but I'm going to build to that. So the opening segment I wrote didn't do much for me. If you would have missed that segment, you would not have missed much. And then, as Jerry mentioned, Vince Russo may have popped when he saw, I believe the full stipulation was guitar on a pole on a forklift match between Elias and Jason Jordan. That was nothing special though either. That was just
Rey Mysterio's kid.
I will say that, right, on a ladder TLC. I will say though that at least it's been a while since we've seen an on a pole stipulation. You don't get those. It's not the Attitude Era anymore, where every other week something's on a pole.
Right.
Viagra, Buff Bagwell's mom, Rey Mysterio's son. It's like I don't need everything to be on a pole, thank you. And then I also made note that Stacey Coates was the jobber for Asuka last night. She had an interesting look.
Coates. Speak your name.
We speak your name, Stacey Coates. Looked like a packet of mayonnaise.
She got squashed. She got squashed in a minute, man.
I didn't like her odds when we knew Asuka was going to be her opponent.
I did love as Asuka's coming back down the aisle. She's all done winning, and then you get your beautiful captain. This is your captain speaking, Alicia Fox. I love her in that captain role. I just do.
I don't disagree with you. I feel like she's a tad bit too over the top for my liking.
Perfect. She's going full McMahon. I love it.
So there was that. And so that's one thing I was going to get to. So hold your thought on what she said there for just a moment.
Sure.
Oh, and before we get to the point here, Apollo Crews. Holy cow. That example last night was the worst of him smiling. There was no reason for him to be smiling. They're talking about how they're about to step into the ring with Samoa Joe. Titus isn't smiling. He looks so clueless when he's smiling like that. He's got to stop. He
and Jason Jordan should have a smile off. Because he smiles too, and it makes no sense. I'm like, why are you so happy, man? You're making me hate you. You're not a face. I hate you.
They need to do it like inopportune times. Like, here's what's going to happen. We've got Apollo Crews in one corner, Jason Jordan in another corner, and then someone walks out and says, "Hey guys, your mom just died." And then we see who's got the bigger smile. And then, so that person's like, all right, very good. All right, well, looks like, what do we have here? All right, well, you guys just lost your jobs.
That's more likely going to happen than the other one. And Jason Jordan, he's just like, whoa, my mom, it wasn't even my real mom. They're going to hotshot me soon, and Asuka's going to be my mom. They're going to try to give me another rub.
Delta just lost your luggage. Let's see who's smile. All right, good smile, Apollo. Very good. You know, that's what the match could be. Exactly.
I do love that Samoa Joe, they didn't make it a feud with Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. He just comes out and bang, kills the one, and boom, kills the other. And now they set up him and Finn. Perfect.
Yeah, you know, that was getting a "This is awesome" chant. And I thought the match was good, but I didn't think it deserved the "This is awesome" chant.
I will explain their "This is awesome" chant with something that you had said earlier in the show. They don't get a lot of Raws, and it was, to be fair, the best thing that was on the television thus far. It was the best thing that Raw's given them yet, and they were probably starving for it.
You know, can I piggyback off that and say you make a really good point, and I'll expand upon that. So last night I was trying to think of, because we're getting to the end of the year. I mean, we're in November. Jerry's got a Christmas tree in the background. You know, we're getting towards the end of the year.
Dude, it's snowing outside.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. Congratulations.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yeah.
To your point, sir.
Yeah. So I was trying to think of what my match of the year so far would be when we do the posties or whatever. And I feel like I came up with like a small handful that I wasn't loving. And I'm like, you know what? And it's probably only because I was there. But I think my favorite match so far this year, because I was there in Evansville, may be Joe and Reigns from Evansville on Raw.
Well, I will tell you right now, and maybe that Evansville Raw, for the things that happened and what went down, that could be one of the best Raws of the year.
Dude, I agree with you. Absolutely. And, you know, I don't know. I really do think if I wasn't at the Raw, it probably wouldn't make my top 5. But being there, I feel like it was special to me. And so far, I don't want to show my hands. I have other matches in mind. That's my favorite match this year, at least as of right now. I feel like that might be. And if that's not valid, you know, I can think of something different. But I feel, you know, that's just the way I feel. That's my favorite match this year. And I just happen to be there for it.
Everything on my list has kind of changed a little bit over time. From the promo to the superstar to the feud, the Better Luck NXT time. But the one that hasn't changed for a very long time is match. And I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off by the end of the year. So we'll see.
Boy, I'm really curious as to what it is, but I don't want to know till the posties. Like if we weren't the host of this, I'm dying to know what your favorite match so far this year has been. And we're saving all of it. Yeah, let's just save it. I mean, I do want to know, but I don't.
But I'm just saying it has not changed for a good bit. Like I haven't even taken a note on match of the year for a while. That's just where we are.
Cool. All right, and I need to start taking better notes the way you did, because I'm going to be struggling. Although I do have some promos and matches in mind. So we get to my ultimate problem. Okay. We know that Asuka is added to the women's SmackDown. The women's Survivor Series match. Joe and Finn got immediately added to Raw's SmackDown team. Jason Jordan then later in the night got added to the team. And this is just kind of where wrestling is right now. And that for some reason, naming someone to the Survivor Series team that ultimately means nothing is the focus of this show. And it is a match I really don't care that much about. So you can imagine how little I care about the addition of a team member to this match. I just feel like this build to Survivor Series sucks. And this is the epitome of the reason why. It's just like, it's supposed to be suspenseful that, oh, wow, Jason Jordan's going to be on the team. Like, holy cow. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, that's terrible. Finn and Joe being on the team, it's like, it's good, it's cool, great. It should be a fun match, but it doesn't mean anything. There's no skin in the game. You guys fighting for brand supremacy, it just doesn't mean anything, because I know that you're owned by the same company and that it's not really about brand supremacy. And it came out of nowhere, and it got crowbarred in as soon as Survivor Series build started. And yeah, I'm just so
out on this feud. I don't like the way it's been done. I don't like that it happens every year now. It's just dumb to me.
Here's a way to make it really interesting and to get us fired up about it. SmackDown still has a mystery person to announce.
Right.
After everything that's happened the last 2 weeks, if they announce it's Daniel Bryan, now we're talking.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see Daniel wrestle again, Jared, in WWE.
Okay. They're making it, I don't know.
Okay, I will say this. I'm going to say it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Disagree that it would make it interesting if they did it.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I'm with you there. And it's just like, it's like so silly the way that, like, you know, Daniel's apologizing for this and Angle's apologizing for that. And just like,
they're telling the story better, I think, on Raw than they are on SmackDown, at least, because on Raw, nobody's friends. Nobody's like, there's not like Team Raw, we're the best. On Team SmackDown, they're like, we're the best, Team SmackDown. And then they fight with each other, but then they're still Team SmackDown. On Raw, they're just like, whatever, we'll do this match. But they're setting up Raw feuds. They're setting up Finn and Joe, which will be good. They're setting up Kane and Strowman. They're setting up Miz and Strowman. They're setting up a lot of different things. Whereas SmackDown, after Survivor Series, they're going to continue to flail, I think, through December.
Right. You're right. So, and then
you boneheads.
By the way, I read in 2018, expect less pay-per-views.
Good.
Yeah, I want 12. 12 is the right number.
More topic shows.
Yes, exactly. What else do I have? Let's see.
What do you have to say about Braun Strowman? Anything?
Sasha got added to the team. Congratulations. You know, it's like, boy. And then the Pete Dunne confusion happened. And there was that. And then there's the main event segment, which I have a few notes on. What were you asking about, Braun Strowman?
Yeah. What do you think about Braun? I love Braun Strowman. I think he's like the biggest face on the whole squad right now.
You know what I think? It's so funny. When you watch, especially in their recap videos, him emerge from that garbage truck. It is so ridiculous.
I love it.
It's so wrestling.
I like how he emerges from the garbage truck like he's been there all along, but that garbage truck must have gotten painted because he got thrown into a white one and he came out of a red one.
Well, there's that. And like, so he gets thrown into a garbage truck at TLC, emerges from a garbage truck at Raw last week, which is, you know, cool. And I'm realizing, remember at Great Balls of Fire, or I'm sorry, the show before that, or whatever it was, he left in an ambulance. And then it was in Evansville, and he returned in an ambulance. Like, this is a great example of, like, WWE thinks that nothing happens when cameras aren't rolling.
I just love how Braun Strowman is just the king of service vehicles.
Yeah, like, remember how Austin used to always drive something into the arena, like a beer truck or a Zamboni or a monster truck or
But he drove it in. And like, that's what I want to see. I wanted to see Braun Strowman drive the garbage truck in.
Nope, he goes in the back.
I'm right in the back. This is my gimmick now. I leave bags of trash as my calling card. I could see Vince in the '80s, but like, God damn it, pal, you're gonna be a garbage man,
and your garbage is gonna stink. It's gonna smell like puke.
Chocolate Daddy.
He could be. I have to say, he could be tagging with Eddie Guerrero 15 years ago, and he'd pop out of the trunk of a lowrider.
He wouldn't even fit in it.
So, anyway, that's Strowman. So some things about the main events, which obviously got people talking. They showed their hand to me right before the match started, and I'm being 100% honest with you. If you were in the room with me, I would have made a $100 bet. And I didn't read any spoilers, that the tag team title was going to change hands. And do you know why?
Why? Because I watched it and I did not see the hand that you saw. What happened?
When they announced that Roman Reigns will be back next week, it made no sense now for the Shield to be tag team champions, because the tag team champions are fighting at Survivor Series against SmackDown's tag team champions. So SmackDown's tag team champions are the Usos. And as soon as this happened, I realized, oh my God, they're gonna put the Shield with New Day because there's 3 that aren't the tag team champions.
And they're not going to put Roman Reigns against his cousins.
And then they doubled it by saying that the bar doesn't get another shot at this. I'm telling you, Jerry, I would have made a $100 bet that this title was about to change hands.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, I actually think that Cesaro and Sheamus will put on a really great match with the Usos.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why not. But, I mean, when you factored in everything going on in Survivor Series, it didn't make any sense. It would have been counterproductive to have the Shield with now Roman back. Now, if Roman weren't back, it would make sense. But since Roman will be back on Monday, he's going to be reinserted into the Shield. What, are we going to have Roman sit out at Survivor Series? I don't think so.
Are any of these titles title for title matches?
No, I don't think there's a single title match on the show.
So there's nothing on the line. It's just champion versus champion for pride. And I care
brand
less.
supremacy. It's brand supremacy.
Oh,
it's more important than a title.
Look at these arms. The vascularity.
We'll call him Mr. Ass. Shout out Bruce and Conrad.
Love them.
Love it.
Well, by the way, do you see that they have problems these days because Diddy changed his name to Brother Love?
Changed it back. He's not Brother Love anymore because he got trolled by wrestling fans.
You can't screw with wrestling fans. You can't at all. I jumped on. I don't know if you did, but I definitely tweeted at Diddy. I was like, I'm inspired by at Diddy, and from now on, I'm going by my new name, The Undertaker.
Nice.
He got so sick of wrestling fans. Is that true? He went back.
Well, that's what my understanding is. Yeah, but he definitely didn't. You see that in your prep this morning?
I'm on a country station. I don't really. I see Diddy and I'm like, I'm moving on.
Understood.
I don't have time.
So why
are you talking about that colored again?
All right. Happy birthday, Jake Roberts.
Happy birthday.
All right, listen. The main event segment, some things that I thought were funny after New Day made their appearance, and it looked like Raw was going to be under siege again. I love that Kurt Angle's mentality is grab all the jobbers.
Get him.
Kurt Hawkins, Goldust, R-Truth. Come on. The SmackDown's invading again. Come on. We need Barry Horowitz. Are you back there?
Where's that packet of ranch dressing that fought Oscar earlier? Is she back there? Bring her out. Where's Stacy Coates?
Yeah. So I just love that the mentality was, where are the jobbers? Get them ASAP.
That's funny.
So there was that. And then New Day makes the distraction. Bar wins the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. No one appears otherwise from SmackDown. And the New Day explains, or I guess one of the announcers, I think it was Corey Graves, went off the air by saying SmackDown got the best of Raw. I don't understand the logic how, because of their distraction, Bar wins the titles and then SmackDown got a victory over Raw. I missed that logic.
Yeah, there's nothing logical about any of this, especially when you've got all night. You've got what's his face, Corey Graves, talking about how Raw's team looks so good, Raw, and he's on Raw. And tonight he's going to be doing the same thing for SmackDown.
You're absolutely right. By the way, we lost your video feed, so thank God we have you on the phone.
Well, you have me on the phone. My phone died.
Okay, yeah, because you lost your video. So, but we're done anyway. I feel like that was the end of the show. A great review. I feel like we've hit a hot streak with post to post. I feel like we're in a zone.
We've definitely picked up where SmackDown's left off. We've taken all of their heat and we're running with it.
So tomorrow, I don't know when. Actually, do you have a weird schedule tomorrow or just me?
Just you tomorrow.
So I think that here's what's happening with me tomorrow. We have our station, not just Maddie and myself, but we have a marathon broadcast from 6A to 6P. So I'm going to be on location at a canned food drive from 6 until 10, which is 11 your time. And then I'll be coming back to the station. So I would think that by like 10:45, 11 o'clock my time, almost noon your time, I should be ready to roll. Will that work for you?
Yeah, so right about now then, right?
Yeah, or like when we started.
When we started, that sounds good. You know, earlier today when you said that you weren't going to be able to do it on time because of a marathon, I wasn't sure exactly what you meant, but I knew you weren't running in a marathon.
That is correct, sir.
I just had a hunch that it was going to be not a running marathon.
Yes, I will never miss post to post because I am running a marathon. Jerry might, I will not.
I won't be.
So, yeah. So thank you for your help today. Is there anything else you want to mention from Raw last night, or did we leave it all on the table?
I think we left it all in the phone booth, in the British phone booth that they didn't put on stage.
All right, Jerry, I love you, brother. And since we can't even see you, I'll just play the music, and I'll say we'll talk to you tomorrow here on another episode of Post Post. We need today and tomorrow, please, topic ideas for Thursday's episode. Otherwise, we don't have a topic. All right? Sound good, Jerry?
I like how stern you are.
Yes.
You guys comment or no topic? Give us a topic or no topic? No soup for you.
No soup for you. We'll see you tomorrow on Post to Post.
Bye.